He had been walking for hours, the sun scorching the pavement, his worn-out shoes barely holding together. Every step was a reminder of how far he had to go. But for Michael, a single dad living in a small town in Ohio, giving up wasn't an option. His little daughter, Emily, only 6 years old, was sick, and the medicine she desperately needed was miles away. Every clinic within the town was out of stock, and he had no car. The bus system was unreliable, and time was slipping away. Michael's heart pounded as he clutched the prescription tightly in his hand, the ink smudged from sweat and nerves. Emily had been coughing all night, her small chest rising and falling unevenly, and each cough seemed to pierce Michael's heart. He had promised her mother, who had passed away 2 years ago, that he would do everything to keep her safe. And he intended to keep that promise, even if it meant walking 10 miles in the sweltering heat. As he trudged down the long stretch of highway, a sense of hopelessness began creeping in. Cars whizzed past, most of the drivers too busy or too distracted to notice the exhausted man. He had been walking for nearly 3 hours when a yellow taxi pulled over. Michael hesitated, embarrassed to ask for help, but the taxi window rolled down and a cheerful, middle-aged man leaned out. "Hey there, you look like you could use a lift," the driver said with a warm smile. Michael's eyes welled up. I need to get to the pharmacy in downtown Cleveland. My daughter's sick." The taxi driver, whose name was Tony, nodded. "Hop in. Don't worry about the fare. I got you." Relief washed over Michael like a tidal wave. As they drove, he explained Emily's condition, how he had been struggling to make ends meet after his wife passed, and how every penny mattered. Tony listened patiently, offering encouraging words that made Michael feel seen and understood, something he hadn't felt in months. When they finally reached the pharmacy, it was just closing. Michael's heart sank, but Tony didn't hesitate. He walked in with him, and together, they convinced the pharmacist to provide the last few doses of Emily's medicine. It wasn't easy, but Tony's calm persistence and Michael's desperation worked. Back in the taxi, Michael clutched the bag of medicine as if it were a treasure. Tears streamed down his face, not just from relief but from gratitude. Tony smiled, saying, "Sometimes all it takes is a little kindness. And believe me, the world needs more of it." That evening, as Michael gave Emily her medicine, watching her tiny body relax and finally fall asleep, he felt a renewed sense of hope. He realized that even in the toughest times, help could appear when you least expect it, and a stranger's kindness could change everything. Michael later shared his story on social media, not for attention, but to remind people that compassion matters, and that no act of kindness is ever wasted. Tony became more than just a taxi driver to him. He became a symbol of humanity and hope, showing that even in dark times, there is light if we are willing to accept it. The story ends with Michael walking a little taller, Emily healthy and smiling, and a message that resonates deeply. Life can be hard, but the kindness of others can lift us when we need it most. And sometimes the people who seem like strangers are the ones who make the biggest difference in our lives.